Okay, this is Miss Draper here. I'm going to go over some options for pencil grip when we are drawing. So I got my not very fancy pencil here. Most of us have learned how to write using a grip kind of like this. This is called a tripod grip. I actually tend to hold it more like this, resting on my ring finger, which you'll see kind of causes a little bit of a callus. Maybe you can see that little bump on the top of my finger. But there's a lot of variations on tripod hold. This is how we learn how to write. You know, this is our, oh boy, that's messy. This is our traditional way of holding pencil. You may or may not hold your pencil like this. But this grip, the reason we use it when we're writing is it is very secure. The pencil is very secure in your hand. It isn't going anywhere, and it gives us a lot of control with our wrist. Okay, so it is great for small details. Now, one of the easiest ways to change up your tripod grip is to back away from the end of the pencil. Most of us hold the pencil down here. Okay, so let's just say you're drawing some circles. Okay, try to draw some bigger circles. We're going to test out drawing circles. I can get about, I don't know what that is, maybe quarter size. They're not fantastic, but I can get about that big. If I back away from the edge of the pencil, this is hard to do through a camera. I can get much bigger circles. You see that? The reason is I am now having to use more of my arm instead of just my wrist. When we're just using our wrist down here on the end of the pencil, we can only get so big. So I want you guys to practice backing away from the pencil and drawing some circles in your sketchbook or on your paper and see how that works out for you. That's a great tool for sketching. So when we get into life sketching, that's going to help you out. The other thing I want to talk about is lightening up your pressure on the pencil. If you are someone who presses down very hard and very dark when you are writing, that creates two problems for us when we are drawing. One is it's going to make it hard to get it really erased. When we draw, we do a lot of very light, messy sketching to get our drawing correct before we go through and start shading or going over in ink or adding other elements to it. But if you're not able to erase it, your artwork is not going to look the way that you want it to. I see this happen a lot in class. So you want to back off. You want to feel like your pencil could just fall out of your hand at any moment when we're drawing. Okay? You want to go as light as you can. That way when you go back in to erase, you don't have this deep groove in the paper and it goes away a lot easier. Okay, so that is another really important part. There's a little pencil up on our board that says draw light until you get it right. That should be your mantra in this class. If you ever need a really dark line like this in class, I have pencils that come in different degrees that we can talk about, and we will talk about as a class later on. But for the most part, you don't need a dark line like this in drawing class. There are some other ways that you can hold the pencil. So we talked about backing away. That's a really good tool for covering a lot of area. The other thing that's nice about it is instead of using like the tip of the pencil, you're actually using the side. And that comes in handy later on when we start shading, because then you'll be able to shade faster and cover a bigger area in less time and without pressing down so hard. There are some other grips, and maybe we'll practice some of these today in class. These are really great if you are standing, but holding the pencil like this instead of in a tripod. It's really great for things like gesture drawings, where you're standing up and you have to use your whole arm. That's how we get that like really good sense of, I'm just making this up right now, but that's how we get a really good sense of motion. Okay, using that whole arm. So when we are drawing, you want to make sure you are using a combination of grips. They're to your advantage. They will help you with different things. You don't always want to be all locked up in this little tiny dark hard grip that you've learned over time. It is great for writing, but it's going to hurt your hand after so long. If you draw really dark and you press down really hard, or you hold the pencil in an uncomfortable position for a long period of time, you're going to hurt your hand, and we don't want that. There is one other alternative. If you tend to press down really hard, it's still a tripod grip, but you've got the pencil between your pointer finger and your middle finger. That is like really comfortable. You have a little bit more motion still, but you really can't press down hard when you use this kind of grip. So if you are someone and you know you press down really hard, try this in class and just see how it works out for you. I'm not saying you need to be writing like this every day or anything, but when it comes to sketching and mark making in class, this might be a good option for you. So we use these all for different purposes. We're going to practice using these in class today. I hope that helped, and we're going to get moving on here. Thank you.